Welcome, fellow explorers. My name is Christian Alexanderson, and this is Hemlocks to Hellbenders, a podcast highlighting Pennsylvania's parks, forests, and great outdoors. When people find out that I've visited every state park, I often get asked the same question: what's my favorite? And consistently, I give the same answer: World's End State Park. It's an easy answer for me since I fell in love with the park the first time I walked into the S-shaped gorge to see it surrounded by tree-covered mountains and rock walls. But when it comes to state forests, I haven't always had an answer. And that's because I just haven't spent enough time in them. That was until 2024. In September of that year, I went on a slack pack with the Keystone Trails Association. Slack packs allow you to get dropped off and picked up at the trail every day while leaving the majority of your gear and meals back at the campsite. Hence, having a slack pack. Over the course of a few days, we hiked about 20 miles on the Loyalsock Trail through Loyalsock State Forest. The state forest, which surrounds World's End, provided me with everything I wanted: mountains, views, waterfalls, and big beautiful trees. It was the most time I'd ever spent in a Pennsylvania state forest, and still the best. I contend that if you can't find something unique or special or breathtaking over Loyalsock State Forest, nearly 115,000 acres, then buddy, you ain't trying. Loyalsock simply has it all, and all of it is splendid. From the cool rushing waters of Loyalsock Creek to the beautiful night sky at High Knob Astronomy Area, there is a lot to take in throughout the forest. And since it covers 3 counties in north-central Pennsylvania, you will have plenty of opportunities to explore new places and find new things to fall in love with. But before we learn more about the forest, here's the stats. Loyalsock State Forest is a 114,552 acre forest located in Sullivan, Lycoming, and Bradford counties. Available activities include hiking, mountain biking, horse riding, picnicking, fishing, hunting, camping, cross-country skiing, kayaking, snowmobiling, and sightseeing. A notable feature of the forest is that it's home to several waterfalls, including Alpine Falls, Angel Falls, Dutchman Falls, and many more. The word Loyalsock is a corruption of the Indian word Loyalsock, which means Middle Creek. Nearby towns include Eaglesmere, LaPorte, Forksville, and Hillsgrove. State lands that are close by include State Game Lands 133, 134, 298, 13, and 36. McIntyre Wild Area, Devil's Elbow Natural Area, Kettle Creek Gorge Natural Area, as well as World's End State Park. You may enjoy the forest if you enjoy big trees, big mountains, and big waterfalls. I'm excited to welcome Eric Probert to the podcast. Eric is the district manager at Loyalsock State Forest. Eric, thanks so much for joining the program.
Great to be here today.
How would you describe the forest to someone who's never been there before?
I would say there seems to be something for everyone here at the Loyalsock, whether it's hunting or fishing or kayaking or canoeing, horseback riding, camping, leaf peeping, endless opportunities, or maybe just a place to find solitude away from the traffic and noise of everyday life. Loyalsock rests within the endless mountains, so it's an area that's full of history and pristine, rugged mountains. It also has some interesting natural features such as waterfalls and fast-flowing, high-gradient streams. There's some pretty awesome waterfalls and unique geologic features that are really cool to explore.
What do you love most about Loyalsock State Forest?
So I've only been here for about a month now, so I'm still kind of determining what I love best. But I guess so far, what I like the best is the knowledgeable staff that work here at Loyalsock. The staff are really connected to the resource, and they genuinely care about the resource that they're trusted to manage for the citizens of the Commonwealth. Our staff just don't work here. They live here and recreate here on the state forest as well as the visitors do. So it's their backyard, and it gives them a special appreciation and a connection to the resource. So, also the wild character and rural feel of Loyalsock is appealing to me because it's similar to the area I grew up in over in Clinton County.
Well, I'm excited for you to be able to, get as much as you can out of Loyalsock because it's such a wonderful place.
Yes, it is, man. It's really cool here.
Loyalsock offers an incredible number of long and short distance hiking trails. Let's start with some of the longer trails. Can you tell us about Loyalsock Trail and Old Loggers Path?
Sure. To start, the Loyalsock Trail is our longest trail within the Loyalsock State Forest at 59 miles long. The trail starts out at Route 87 and covers the vast majority of the Little Bear Creek tract, traverses some private grounds over to High Knob, Vista, and then into World's End State Park. And then all the way to the East Trail terminus at Mead Road parking lot next to Route 220. So during hikes on the Loyalsock Trail, whether it be the whole day or the whole thing at once or sections, um, visitors, hikers will see ridges, vistas, gorges, waterfalls, and Loyalsock Creek. The Loyalsock Trail was created by a Boy Scout troop from Williamsport in the 50s, and it was only 30 miles long back then. Since then, additions have been made to add the extra 20 miles. Red and yellow tags can be, used to navigate the Loyalsock Trail. Some of them are historical can lids, probably from the Boy Scouts back in the 50s. So it's kind of cool. There's still some things like that out there. The old Loggers Path is also a historical trail. It's the second longest trail in the district at 27 miles long. It was established in the 70s, and the trailhead is in the old logging town of Maston. That trail takes you on a hike through history while you travel to the Susquehanna and New York Railroad grade. That rail grade was used to transport materials during the time these old logging towns and coal mining towns were functioning. So it's a loop hike, has a handful of vistas, waterfalls, and 2 lean-to shelters for overnight camping.
Yeah, and if you're the sort of person that likes to put some mileage on and like some elevation change, Loyalsock Trail and Old Loggers Path are phenomenal. Loyalsock Trail, I did with the Keystone Trails Association. I did about 21 miles with for a slack pack event, which was phenomenal. I really, really enjoyed it. And then Old Loggers Path is certainly on my to-do list. That's another KTA trail that's really wonderful, and the volunteers do a great job maintaining those 2 trails.
Oh, that's great. You got some local knowledge then of the hiking trails. That's good to know.
Do you have any trail recommendations for short distance hikes in the forest?
Yeah, we do. The Haystacks Trail is about 2 miles from the Mead Road parking lot, and it descends downhill to the Susquehanna and New York Railroad grade to Haystack Rapids. That's a pretty good hike. Another one would be the Fern Rock Nature Trail. It's a 3-mile loop trail that skirts a swamp, runs along some streams, and passes through some rock outcropping, so you get a pretty good diverse hiking experience. That trail also has interpretive stations that provide information on the different forested ecosystems you're going to walk through. And maybe the third would be the hike to Angel Falls. It's a shorter 1 mile out and 1 mile back trail. It starts at the Loyalsock Trail parking lot on Brunerdale Road and follows Dry Run on the Loyalsock Trail for a short distance. So you end up crossing Falls Run, where you can start an upward hike. On the way, you'll notice some waterfalls, notably the 20-foot Gypsum waterfall. And once you pass that waterfall, you'll reach your destination to the 70-foot Angel Falls, which I've not been there yet, but I hear it's a pretty magnificent place. So that's on my to-do list.
For those looking to take in some beautiful scenery along the Loyalsock Creek, the Loyalsock Trail takes visitors to Dutchman Falls, and you previously spoke about the Haystack Rapids. What are those 2 features?
The Dutchman Falls and Haystack Rapids are in the same vicinity of Mead Road parking lot. So if you travel down to Loyalsock Trailhead, down to Railroad Grade, you'll see markers and signs that take you to Dutchman Falls, which is a 27-foot tall waterfall. It flows into Loyalsock Creek. Coming back onto the grade, you can take that all the way out to the Haystack Rapids, where you'll see a lot of people, hot summer days, cooling off. While you walk on that trail, you'll notice a beautiful landscape, moss-covered rocks, hardwoods, white pines, hemlocks. Pretty cool place, and encompasses the trail before you get to the rapids. The Haystack Rapids are a unique feature within the Loyalsock State Forest. There's some enormous rounded quartz sandstone boulders that over the years were shaped to resemble haystacks, hence the name.
Yeah, that's one of those features that you kind of come upon and it kind of blows you away, where you're just like, man, this kind of shows up out of nowhere, and it's just really beautiful and allows you a cool opportunity to kind of like wade in a little bit to the creek.
Yeah.
How can visitors check out the 30-foot tall Jacoby Falls?
Okay, visitors that want to visit the Jacoby Falls, which is the first place that I checked out when I got here to Loyalsock, was recommended to me by the staff. You'll reach the Jacoby Falls by traveling on Wallace One Road to its trailhead for the falls, where you'll cross a wooden boardwalk to reach the trail. Crosses a swampy area. It's a short 2-mile hike and to the 30-foot Jacoby Falls. The hike is a really cool place. Lots of wildflowers. I was there a few weeks ago and got to experience that. It's best to plan it after a heavy rain. You can really see a dramatic increase in the water flow across those falls. But there's some people that strap ice cleats on and go there and check it out in the wintertime. I've seen some pictures of that. I've not been here in the winter yet, but falls turn kind of a blue color of that ice, and it's pretty magnificent.
Are there any more waterfalls you suggest people check out in the area?
Yeah, sure. Dry Run Falls. It's a close waterfall to check out. And it's a roadside waterfall, so not much hiking involved there. It's located about 2 miles outside of Hillsgrove Ranger Station. Also, the Rock Run Lower, Middle, and Upper Falls on Rock Run Road in Lycoming County near Ralston. That's a very popular place here in the Loyalsock. You'll be able to see the rolling water coming down the gorges of Rock Run. All three of those falls have a walking path to them and a parking area at the top along the road. It's a highly used summertime activity area for people to cool down, and lots of other recreation like trout fishing. It's located near our McIntyre Wild area, and that area has a lot of mining history, along with other streams and falls that can be checked out, like Dutchman's Run, Abbott Run, Miners Run, and Hounds Run.
And Dry Run Falls is very appropriately named. If you're going there, if you're not going there after rain, you're not going to see very much at certain times of the year for sure.
Right.
And now, let's hear from our sponsors. Join the Keystone Trails Association's trail care team to show some love to the trails you love. KTA organizes hands-on stewardship events and training workshops to maintain and expand hiking trails in Pennsylvania. You can find a trail care event near you. View KTA's schedule of events online at kta-hike.org. Your best summer adventure is closer than you think with Purple Lizard Maps. Durable, waterproof, and easy to read, Purple Lizard Maps help you plan the best outdoor adventure in PA and beyond. Explore the Purple Lizard statewide outdoor recreation map and 12 Pennsylvania destination maps to find your next adventure. Check out their new map, the Dark Sky Susquehannock State Forest map, created in partnership with the PA Wilds. It features one of the most remote outdoor recreation landscapes in the Pennsylvania wilds with quiet trails, winding back roads, sparkling streams, small towns, and big public lands, and some of the darkest skies in the east. Start your next adventure today at purplelizard.com. Hello, fellow explorers. This is a message from the Pennsylvania Parks and Forest Foundation. You know those incredible state parks and forests Christian talks about in every episode? We're the ones making sure they stay incredible. From maintaining the trails you hike, to engaging volunteer groups who make your experience better, to supporting conservation projects that protect Pennsylvania's natural treasures while keeping these places accessible. We're behind the scenes making it happen. Whether you're planning your next waterfall hike or just dreaming about your favorite overlook, know that PPFF is working to preserve these special places for future generations of explorers. Learn more at paparksandforests.org. Looking to add some Pennsylvania charm to your space? Sister Sunflowers has you covered. Their unique stickers highlight the small local spots that make your community shine, from quirky caves to hidden gems. Perfect for your laptop, water bottle, or anywhere that needs a little hometown love. They got stickers, magnets, prints, and even a hand-drawn poster to keep track of all the Pennsylvania state parks and forests you've explored. Use code HELLBENDER15 for 15% off your first order. Support local, inspire adventure, and decorate with meaning. Only at Sister Sunflowers. Hey, if you're building your summer bucket list, you've got to check out Clarion County. Don't miss Living History Week at Cook Forest State Park, a fun, immersive journey through America's past, from the French and Indian War to the Civil War, with live storytelling, music, and hands-on demos. If you're up for adventure, local outfitters can guide you on river trips or hikes, or hit the trails at your own pace and wind down with local wine and craft brews. Plan your trip, explore events, or let us help you plan your visit at discoverclarioncounty.com. Clarion County. Add it to your travel bucket list. Laurel Caverns. It's the Commonwealth's newest and first underground state park, and it's the largest cave in Pennsylvania, with more than 4 miles of passages and tours for every level of explorer. Laurel Caverns is a different kind of state park experience, one that invites you to discover Pennsylvania's Laurel Highlands from a whole new perspective. Plan your long weekend now at golaurelhighlands.com. All right, back to the show. Loyalsock Creek offers some serious kayaking opportunities for experienced paddlers. What will kayakers experience during swift springtime currents?
I had a talk with Aaron Lewis, who's a local kayaking expert here in Sullivan County. So the lower end, like from Forksville down, is more of a recreational use kayak area, kind of like for families and slower flowing. And But upstream from there, above Forksville, towards Haystacks, is more of a technical, skirt on the kayak, maybe higher class rapids. I'm not exactly sure of the class rapids there, but more technical experience. So that's kind of how he explained it to me, and I think that's probably a good reference point there to Forksville Bridge. From Forksville down, family type, recreational use, and above there, more technical, thrill seeking type use.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about the High Knob Astronomy Area and what people may need to know when stargazing?
Yeah, sure. So the High Knob Astronomy Area is a recent addition to our recreational opportunities at Loyalsock. The High Knob has historically been a place where people came to look at stars and take advantage of the dark skies and that rural Sullivan County has to offer. The dark sky area, like High Knob, are an important resource that we need to protect carefully, right? There's not many dark sky places left, especially in the Northeast. High Knob gives a visitor an opportunity to see the stars and galaxies that aren't visible from, southeast Pennsylvania or more urban areas. But the visitor has to follow some etiquette when accessing astronomy area. So our intention for that space was to give some amateur astronomers a place to set up their equipment. They have some really expensive, high quality equipment so they can see those, distant galaxies. So keeping headlights off that area, restricting dust that vehicle traffic would cause, that can affect that sensitive equipment. So part of the etiquette is arriving before dark. That area is a gated area. We'd like people to travel in there, in the daylight, and once it gets dark, it would be off limits of vehicle traffic. But visitors are encouraged to walk in and talk to the people that have equipment set up. If they walk in, they got to keep in mind, lights should be red and shielded and dim to protect that sensitive equipment. There's going to be signage there that lists all the rules, to use the site, but it's new to us, so we're going to see how it goes, but we're kind of excited to have the opportunity there.
When I saw the plans for this come through, or kind of the discussions around this, any opportunity we have to highlight the night sky in Pennsylvania, like you said, there's not a ton of places in the Northeast. I mean, I wasn't until my 20s until I really saw a starry sky. So this is a really cool opportunity because the area is so dark and perfect for this, that once this was kind of announced, it's really exciting.
Right. Yeah. The dark sky rivals that of Cherry Springs. It's very similar in experience to that. So yeah, we're excited to have it.
Yeah. And just for everybody else's mental health, please bring a red light. Do not shine white light around there. That's going to destroy everything. That might be my biggest pet peeve, is when people don't use red light in these sort of areas, especially in any dark area, but certainly these sort of areas.
Right.
What will mountain bikers find on a visit to the Drift Mine mountain bike trail?
So the trail system is inside the loop formed by the coal mine road. It uses existing trails and skid roads and fence lines and power lines. That provides a base from which a single track series of trails forms a loop-on-loop network. It offers a variety of riding experience for different levels of difficulty for different skill sets and riders. The area of the trail system contains historical remnants of drift mines, which operate into the 1930s. You can still see some of those entrances visible along Coal Mine Road, and some are even visible from the bike trail.
There's a number of places to fish throughout the forest. Where can people go fishing, and what will anglers catch?
Yeah, so some of the notable ones would be Soane's Pond and Bear Wallow Pond. That's more like warm water fishing, think bass, bluegills, yellow perch. But we also have a lot of high quality, exceptional value trout streams here in Loyalsock. Many tributaries leading to the Loyalsock and Lycoming Creek, such as Hoagland Branch, Little Bear Creek, Mill Creek, or Pleasant Stream. But there's endless opportunities for trout fishing here in Loyalsock, which I'm pretty excited about. Some of the streams are stocked with trout, but there's also good native trout fishing here in Loyalsock.
Yeah, Eric, you kind of started out by saying Loyalsock has a little bit for everybody, and I think that's proving very much so as you speak. I've always been, since I've discovered the outdoors, I've really focused on state parks just because it makes me feel a little bit more confident about, all right, well, I always know where there's going to be a bathroom, or, I always know the roads are going to be this way, or I'm going to find this sort of facility. But these state forests just have so much to offer because of the vast the huge variety of things to do and the landscape that it offers. What do you think about people like maybe getting away from not only just state parks and really digging into the forest and seeing what you guys have to offer?
I think there's a million opportunities, like you mentioned. I mean, just the vast, 2.2 million acres of state forest land.
Yeah.
We have such a bigger footprint. So, I mean, we have the same recreational opportunities as state parks, just maybe a different look at it, right?
For me, whenever I think about state parks, I think of very manicured.
Yeah.
Your experience is kind of you certainly know what your experience is going to be like when you go to a state park. I think a state forest offers not only that these opportunities and the variety, but also the opportunity to maybe have a little bit more of a rugged experience, maybe get away a little bit farther from the crowds and the people.
Well, and the unknown too, right? Like you mentioned, like the state parks, you kind of know, uh, where the amenities are, what the activities are, what the campsites look like, but there's a lot of unexpected things in the state forest, right? What wildlife are you going to see? You know, lots of twists and turns in the roads, lots of places to explore, just a bigger footprint to explore.
Well, on that, Loyalsock State Forest has an awesome diversity of wildlife. What can visitors see if they take a trip to the forest?
Oh yeah, so at any given time, you could see deer, bears, bobcats, fox, coyotes, turkeys, grouse, all types of songbirds and snakes. We have a pretty good population of rattlesnakes here in the Loyalsock. It's never a guarantee what you're going to see, but you could see all those things in one day. So, depending on the weather and the time of the year, and morning and evening is always the best time, right, to view wildlife. But yeah, it's lots of opportunities for wildlife here. We have a healthy forest ecosystem, and we strive to maintain habitat for all those species. And I think you'll see a diverse habitat and diverse species here because of that.
Is there something everyone should experience when they visit?
Yeah, I think that's a hard one, right? Like all those experiences, it's really up to the visitor what they want to see and what keeps them coming back, right? Um, I think the different views, the waterfalls is probably something that really probably strikes me as something that the Loyalsock has to offer that other state forests may not have to offer. Uh, so I think that's something. I mean, everything we talked about so far, but the waterfalls is probably the keynote of this state forest.
I know certainly, I spend at least a week a year up in World's End State Park, either camping or nearby Eaglesmere, and I could suck up an afternoon just sitting by the creek and just hanging out, getting a little bit of sun, reading a book, relaxing, and then you could take any number of hikes that are certainly going to be worth your time. If a visitor has a weekend to explore the forest, what would you recommend they do?
Yeah, I guess everyone's perspective on how they like to explore varies. Um, but I mean, some come here to camp for the weekend to get away from the hustle and bustle of the work week, and maybe just enjoy setting up a tent along a roadside campsite, staying there for the weekend, sitting by the creek with your feet in the water, just enjoying the quiet. We got a lot of people who come here to deer hunt and hunt big game. I mean, that's a popular opportunity, and it helps us out for our forest habitat and our forest regeneration by controlling the deer herd. But you know, some fall back on the overlooks and waterfalls. Driving around and in the fall. That fall Keller is another big draw to the state forest. Maybe drive around, look at the fall Kellers. There's lots of cool restaurants here in Sullivan County. I've noticed that already. It's a little different than where I grew up. There's more opportunity to get a bite to eat. Some pretty good food here too. So yeah, don't be sure to stop in the community, support the local businesses, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean, I can't go anywhere near Sullivan County without stopping at Big Mike's for a cheesesteak. So I mean,
right. That's
uh,
a famous place here. I found that out. Yeah.
yeah. I think I went on my first visit and I like gorged myself on a sub, and I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna get in the water for quite a while, but that was phenomenal. You spoke a little bit about camping. What sort of camping options are available for visitors?
So we have lots of campsites along State Forest. I think there's a hundred and some campsites that you can rent through Aspira. You can look and see which ones are available for that weekend, and for a small fee, you can enjoy a campsite, along State Forest Road. There's also backpacking, primitive type camping. It doesn't
Hmm.
require a permit. If you're staying one night and you're hiking away from the road, backpacking or canoeing, uh, permits are free as long as it's a one-night stay at one spot.
And Eric, just to remind visitors too, for those who might be used to maybe staying in a state park campsite, we're not necessarily talking about a bunch together and with tons of amenities. We're kind of talking about kind of right off the road and set back a little bit with space in between them.
Yeah, that's correct. They're very very spaced out along the state forest roads and areas that we identified for campsites. Amenities are limited. There may be a picnic table at some of the sites. We do maintain them. We mow the sites and keep the grass cut, stuff like that. But it's not going to be like a state park experience. More primitive than that.
If a visitor has only maybe a couple hours, they're coming through the area, what do you think they should see? I mean, I think simply a drive through is really wonderful. I mean, Sullivan County is stunning.
Yeah, I think a drive through, probably the Rock Run Valley for the waterfalls, the vistas like High Knob and Sharp Top Vista, Soanes Pond. They're all areas that can be visited with a few hours time.
Now, I know that you're still very new to this jurisdiction, but you're obviously experienced in Pennsylvania. Do you have a favorite time of year in the forest?
Yeah. So I think my favorite season would have to be fall, right? So the change in seasons, the smell of the changing leaves, the crisp fall mornings. And I'm a big deer hunter, so like I look forward to that time every year. So I'm kind of partial to fall, but the change in seasons, that's what's beautiful about Pennsylvania, right? You got all those changing seasons. So, from winter to spring and from fall to winter, but if I had to pick, it would be fall.
Yeah, it's I've been up there a couple times in the fall, and it is just it looks like everything's on fire. It's just stunning, the amount of variety of trees and what's available to see. It's really beautiful. Do you have any tips for people who plan on visiting the forest, or any suggestions to make their visit as enjoyable as possible?
Yeah, I'd say always prepare for any trip, when coming to Loyalsock State Forest. Prepare for the weather. Think about how long you're going to be hiking for. If you're coming to drive, maybe plan your route out to make best use of your time. And always let someone know when you're going and what path you're going to take and how long you may be here, where you're going to camp. If it's always recommended, to stop in at either the Resource Management Center here in Dewshore or stop at Hillsgrove Ranger Station if you're going to be here for a longer period of time. Leave some emergency contacts. There's lots of areas here that doesn't have cell coverage, so plan for that. There's also a lot of sites to look online for information, like our Facebook page. Loyalsock Trail has a Facebook page. Call the district office, communicate with us. Ask any questions, on maybe gas activity and things that may be closed. The things pop up all the time. So you can just call in and stay in communication with us. We'll be happy to answer any questions.
Eric, thanks so much for talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Sure. It was fun.
I want to thank my guest, Eric Prober, for joining the podcast. Be sure to follow the podcast on Instagram and Meta for more information about upcoming episodes. You can support the podcast by buying merch at hemlockstohellbenders.com, or you can click support this show in the podcast description to provide a monthly donation. This has been Hemlocks to Hellbenders. I'll see you out there. Hosting, production, and editing by Christian Alexanderson. Music by John Sauer. Graphics by Matt Davis.